This is Yasaman's learning belly dance. Today we're going to work on some shimmy drills actually. Back to the basics. So we're going to work on the basic shimmy and how to get control of it, and that comes with practice. Not everyone can do a good shimmy at the beginning of their practice. It's not always what it seems, and it feels quite odd to you when you're first trying it out. But don't give up. You need to practice, 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 okay? So first thing I want you to work with is the knees, okay? And practice on your posture, and posture is very important for good shimmies, for good isolations as well. So let's go to posture. First, slightly bend the knees, and that's a slight bend, so your knees are straight at first, and never lock your legs back, okay? So don't ever lock them back. When I say lock them back, don't ever do that, okay? Don't want to do that, you're going to hurt yourself. So you want to have a slight bent knee, like that, okay? So when I say slightly bend your knees, that's what I mean. So slightly bend the knees, tuck the pelvis. And remember, tucking the pelvis, you can feel that you're doing it correctly by placing one hand on the small of your back and one hand on the bottom of your tummy. And then you can pull the pelvis upward. So tucking it, and which drops the tailbone down, okay? And the way you do that is using the quads right here and the thigh muscles. Putting your hands also here to feel those come up. So that pumping action like this, you're going to go like that and tuck right there, and that drops the pelvis. So that's a good posture there. The third part is lifting the chest. So that's soften knees, tuck pelvis, lift chest. And you want the chest lifted well, okay? And then roll your shoulders and roll the back and relax the arms, okay? So this is your posture. Practice this a few times to get it down to this, put into your memory, something you should do before you start any movements. So again, get into posture. And the chest well lifted, rather your other things are in line while dancing because you're moving around a lot, so your pelvis may not be always tucked because you may be using it for moves. So the chest lifted will help isolations here, okay? And when you're doing upper isolations, a tucked pelvis will help you isolate up top better. Okay, so into the shimmy. I'm going to first get you to bend and straighten each knee. So first start on the right. I'm a righty, so I always start on the right. Or if you're a lefty, you can start on the left, up to you. So you're going to go bend the right knee forward more, while straightening the left, and it's bend, 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 alternating each knee to bend, letting the hips go along for this ride. So you're going to bend, bend, bend. Bend and straighten the knees. And this is a slight movement at first. And the way you make the shimmy from the knees is it comes up into the hips. The faster you move the knees, and the smaller you make the movement. So that means a big movement would be like that. That will be a big version of what I'm asking you to do. And on the side, knees going forward and back, okay? Forward and back. When it becomes smaller, you're not going as wide, okay? So, like if someone tells you to step back, a wide step, that would be a wide step. If I tell you to take a small step back, that could be a small one, and then a smaller, that could be small. So that concept, making the movement smaller, okay? So, again, posture, and then bend, bend and straighten. Very small movements. Then smaller, and it becomes a shimmy as it comes faster. So keep the chest lifted and watch the waist. Show from the side. Very basic shimmy, just get you started. There's lots of different kinds out there. And I have a few videos up on a tension shimmy, freeze shimmy, and the basic Egyptian shimmy. There's quite a few. Then they have the 3/4 shimmy, and there's a side-to-side version of that. Different kinds. And from behind, and shimmy. Okay, so again, starting over, starting basics. You can do large knee pumping actions, back and forwards, back and forwards. Then you want to go back and forward more. Smaller, 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 and smaller. Now, you're not going to necessarily get this right away. That's fine. You have to understand that it takes time. and practice to get a shimmy the way you want it to look. Okay? Now, practice that broken down. Do the knees large and get it smaller. And then your feet are flat. So think about that your knees are cold and you go burr. Think about that. And that's going to come up to the hips. Okay? So again, do your posture first, drill that, then drill the shimmy. I'm going to put on a little bit of music for you so you can see how you can work with it. So you see, you can play with the shimmy all kinds of ways. Layer it with a hip slide, a circle, anything you want. Thanks for watching. It's been Yasmin learning belly dance, your basic hip shimmy.